Oh, do-da-day. All right, I think we're live.
Okay, great. Got my yawn out before the cameras came on.
No, I don't think you did. I think they saw you yawning, but you know
and
what?
my eyes are still watering.
We're an open book here. We're an open
That's
book
right.
here on this little broadcast we do each day called Socially Distanced and Mentally Exhausted with Rick and Jenn. I'm Rick, and she's Jenn. And this is all brought to you by our friends at Carpetbaggers.
That's right. Thank you, Carpetbaggers.
Carpetbaggers Flooring. Great folks over there, and they have an alpaca in the back where they do one custom rug a day as long as the alpaca's hair grows back.
That is not true.
Some of it's true. They're great folks. That was true.
That is true. But the rest of that?
Rest of it was all lies.
False.
All made up. Because everything on Facebook is made up.
Well, it seems that way.
And not factual.
Yeah, correct.
Welcome, friends.
That's right. I found out today is Star Trek Day. So I found that very interesting.
There are a lot of folks right now in their mom's basements.
Well,
being able to come out.
Saying Star Trek, and then someone else saying it's not Star Trek, it's Star Trek.
Oh, I love doing that.
Yeah.
And I know it's Star Trek, but anytime I run into somebody that is a Star Trek fan, I always call it Star Trek.
Well, and
just to see if they're
Star Trek fan.
Just to see if they will correct me. In most cases, they do.
Yeah. So when we were growing up, we did not have cable, so we only had 4 channels. When Fox came on, we were like, oh, we got a new channel. And Fox always showed old television shows in the afternoons after school. So that my sisters and I, we watched DuckTales, and then we watched Star Trek. So yeah, I'm a fan, and I love the movies, the new movies. So yeah, I'm with everybody. Let's celebrate Star Trek. It came out 55 years ago today.
It's National Quiet Day today as well.
I'm not celebrating that.
Yeah, you never celebrate that. Not with the number of words that you have.
Well, you say that, and then some days you're like, you're not spending any time with me. You're not talking to me. And I'm like, I'm resting. Can't have it both ways. So
International Literacy Day. Did you do anything that?
You know what?
Today
I did not even know that today was International Literacy Day.
Well,
but
sorry.
For me, every day.
I'm sorry.
Is Literacy Day.
That I had to be the one to tell you, the dumb DJ who made C+ in high school, and the literacy specialist for the State Department here did not know it was. How did y'all not know it's not?
Well, I don't get these emails with the today is holidays. So
well, fortunately for you, it's National Pardon Day as well.
Thank you. That worked out.
A couple of things to run through before we get to your batch of stuff. The question of the day is, what's the best concert you've ever seen? Think about that, and we'll share ours here in just a second. There is an email going around about the stimulus payment from the IRS. It's fake. They're not sending out these emails. It looks legit. The logo is there. The font is right.
Bradley's going to be very disappointed.
The tip-off is when you hover your mouse over the word from, don't click that link. If you get an email, hover your mouse over the word from. It'll be obvious. And then you'll know it's fake.
Well, or if you get an email from the IRS today, it's fake.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the hovering.
Especially when I get emails from official people to my fake name.
Well, at this point, I'm like so paranoid about any email. So last week, somebody emailed me about a book club I was in, but because their question was weird, I just sent it right to phishing. I was like, oh no, you're not tricking me. So yep, you better be pretty explicit. I'm looking out for you and those weird grammatical mistakes or maybe a spelling error. I'm on to you.
There are 7 of you watching right now. We're almost up to tens of people watching Socially Distanced and Mentally Exhausted with Rick and Jenn. We love your comments on today's question of the day. What's the best concert you've ever seen? Can I guess yours, Jenn?
Yeah. Yes.
Prince.
Correct.
What was it about that other than you making me deaf and on this side of my head?
And now, so there are many people that I'm like, I need to make sure I see these people before they pass or I do. Dolly Parton was on my list.
She was great, by the way. Great concert. But she was unplugged that night. It was more of an acoustic thing and more of storytelling.
So hilarious. Yeah. Oh, it was well worth it. But it was not, I mean, if you like want to just sing the whole time, that wasn't her. But if you wanted to laugh, sing, and love Dolly, and by the way, her book, you bought me her book. It is wonderful. It tells the stories about how she wrote songs. It has lots of like pictures from her life. So if you love Dolly Parton, pick up that book. But Prince, I think there was so much hype because who doesn't love Prince?
Right.
So we just were waiting and like so excited, and then everything went black, and then you heard his voice, and from there on I just like screamed the whole time. It was wonderful. You knew every song. He could play every instrument. He would like run from the guitar. Oh, now I'm on the piano. Oh, I'm doing the drums. It was just amazing.
There's only been a couple of concerts that I've been to where I felt like the room was a living organism.
Yeah.
And it was Garth.
Yes. That was a wonderful concert also.
Billy Joel had that same feeling to it, but nothing like Prince.
Oh.
Prince just, I mean, like every time something happened,
yeah,
it was goosebumps.
Yes.
And I'm so glad we got to see him because that was just a few months before he died, I believe, right? Was it a few months or maybe a year?
In the fall, and I think he passed away in April the next month. I could have made that up, but I think it was not a big turnaround. But
when that dearly beloved, oh man, and you did not stop screaming the whole time.
And then you were like, stop screaming in my ear. And later I was just like, no, I'm not going to stop screaming. And you should have just moved.
But what I couldn't figure out is, why didn't I just switch places with you?
No, because I had already made a lot of friends also screaming. So.
And who was there that we knew that was sitting behind us and grabbed me under my arm and said, nobody sits at a Prince concert, and lifted me up?
Oh, I don't know.
It was somebody we knew. It was a friend of ours.
Well, I was not sitting there.
He's like, nobody sits at a Prince concert.
It was amazing.
Get your ass up.
There are a lot of other really great. I think Darius Rucker has a really great concert. Darius Rucker, he sings a Prince song during some of his sets.
I think what's weird about Darius is that.
Alan Coker said, "Yep, Prince was the best."
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
I think what's weird, and he works for the North Charleston Coliseum, by the way, so he's an authority on that. With Darius, you forget, because we do get some interaction with him at the country level, country radio, that you forget just how gifted he is when he's doing his craft.
Yeah, he's an amazing singer.
I mean, it's effortless. And
same with
Garth.
Concert.
Same with Garth.
I would say yes. Both of those guys would be my top 5, but Prince, number 1. Blake Shelton was a really great concert.
I thought Blake was good.
I had a wonderful time there. Yeah. So I think it depends on the songs you know, but also the energy of the people around you. But yeah, I would say Prince, number 1, Darius, Garth, and then I think I would put Blake Shelton.
Billy Joel was great.
I've never seen him.
Didn't we see the back of Elton John?
Yeah, we had tickets behind Elton
I think
John.
Anybody with a big library of hits that you know is a great concert.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of those artists struggle with what to cut because they're always worried that they are going to not play somebody's favorite song in there. Right. You know, Garth has that issue. Certainly George Strait. George Strait was a great concert, but it's great because you love his music. It's not great because of any energy he brings to the situation.
Well, I don't know.
In fact, his guitar is just a prop. I'm not even sure he knows how to play it.
Let me come back to the George Strait concert because we have some interesting stories on that. But the other great concert that I had a wonderful time just because of the history and past was that 90s concert we went to.
Oh, yeah. At the North Charleston Coliseum.
Oh, my gosh. Salt and Pepper were there. Vanilla Ice was there. Biz Marquee, I think, was there too.
And they are, and a lot of them are suffering from biscuit poisoning, as they say now. Some of them had gotten big up.
It happens. But when you relive your youth and your favorite dance hits, oh gosh, that was also a super great one.
From the Weasel Midday Show, Billy Greenwood said Reba used to put on an amazing show, and she did. She would have large sets like an airplane, like the front of an airplane in there, and she would change.
Her songs tell a story, so I can see that.
And she would change clothes so many times, not like quick change, like go off and then come back on during a solo.
I love it. So let me set the tone for the George Strait concert.
Okay.
We had gone to Boston. We went to the George Strait concert. We stood in line, and again, because we are spoiled in radio, we're used to the backstage thing.
Yeah.
And these ladies behind us were like, we paid $5,000 to meet George Strait. And I was like, what?
Yeah, my wife ain't never paid $5,000 for nothing.
Wreck. So
Her first car wasn't $5,000.
you know what? I'm not sure how much it was. Let me think. So we're in line and I say, listen, the girl's like, I really want him to sign 2 things. There's just one. I said, you give me one of the things and I will ask him to sign it.
Yeah.
Well, when we met him, he was so handsome. Like, I don't think you quite get that. I mean, many people might say, yes, he's an attractive man, but in real life, that's all I could say was like, you are so handsome. You remember that?
I do remember it.
I mean, I just kept going, wow, he is so handsome.
Because it was the second, we saw him in Boston, and it was the second to last concert he was going to do. He was going to wrap up his career in Dallas the following week.
Yes. And if y'all want to know what Rick has to put up with me, we could not find a parking space. We did not know how far Patriot Stadium was from these different
Boston.
parking lots. And they're like, oh, last parking lot, or else you'll have to, you won't be able to park. So we park our car. Well, we had gotten off the plane. We'd left Charleston. It was 1,000 degrees. And we got to Boston and they were like, hey, surprise, it's 50 degrees. So we had to buy some new clothing. So I had to buy some closed-toed shoes. So as we walk, which way further than the parking lots, they lied. There were many more parking lots, but we got nervous, parked our car. So by the time we got to the stadium, I had an insane blister, and to where I couldn't even have fun. I mean, my feet were killing me. I should have just taken my shoes off, but like literally we were on a almost country road. We get inside, my feet are hurting so bad, and I see that there's a first aid station. And I said, Rick, I have to go in there. So while I'm inside, because the concert hasn't started yet, I guess the drunken...
And she hadn't had anything to drink.
Yeah, the
through any
drunken
of this.
disorderlies have not started to fill up and infiltrate the first aid station. I'm the only gal in there. And so I'm like, look, guys, I just bought these shoes. They are rubbing my feet and blistering me. And I cannot even walk. It's horrible. They patched me right up. They're so wonderful. And I said, would you guys do me a favor and push me out in the wheelchair and make it seem like this is a really big deal? And so they were all
That's
like,
what I live with.
yeah, okay. But I had to talk him into it. So we come out and I'm in this wheelchair. I try to like slump over to make it look like I'm okay. And Rick turns and looks and is like, and then I just start dying laughing. So yeah, that is what Rick,
funny joke.
That's right. That's what Rick has to deal with
Thought
on
that
a
was
daily
hysterical.
basis. Oh,
Yeah.
I just thought I was the most hilarious gal in town.
And again, she hadn't had anything to drink, so
No.
she's naturally like this.
Yeah.
She is naturally
But
like
I
this.
did have to, I'm sure those people were entertained.
Share your best concert you've ever seen with us. If you're just joining us on Socially Distanced and Mentally Exhausted with Rick and Jenn, I'm Rick, she's Jenn. Brought to you by Carpetbaggers Flooring. We have shared that we agree that the best concert we have ever seen is Prince at the North Charleston Coliseum. A close second to that for me would be Garth and Darius at a tie, and then Billy Joel at the Coliseum. Again, folks with a huge library of songs, they're always the best concerts because you want to be able to sing along. And
one thing I remember hearing in an interview with Garth, he said, people do not come to my concert for me to test out a new song on them.
Yeah.
They want to be able to sing along. And I thought, thank you, because there is nothing worse than when you get to a concert and you don't know the words. I mean, you want to be able to sing and have fun and be with the crowd. So thank you, Garth.
some of the answers so far.
Gartholomew
Brooks. Alan Coker at the Coliseum says, we're right, Prince. And
totally.
he works at the Coliseum.
Yeah, totally right.
Billy Greenwood from the Weasel Midday Show says Reba used to put on an amazing show. And she does. All of these shows, what's been great is we've been lucky that all of these folks have come to the North Charleston Coliseum. I remember seeing Garth for the first time at the Coliseum, and it was before they had the ticket. It was before they could track you electronically. And I did not have Garth tickets, and I don't think I was working at Weasel at the time. It was during my hiatus, and I got in with a pair of Stingrays tickets. I just moved fast. They ripped the ticket. I moved right on in, then just went and sat somewhere.
Story.
It is horrible, and I've
what else I just
since then I've found the Lord.
Yes, praise him. I see that Bob Sanders says he loves Martina McBride, and that made me think though about some of the Weasel's Evening with the Stars shows. And we have seen some amazing concerts stripped down. Like what's the guy that wrote the Garth song?
Oh, Lee Bryce wrote More Than a Memory.
That
Garth
was an
Brooks'
amazing
first
show.
song back after retirement.
Yeah. So we say all that to say one day we hope we can go to a concert again and feel good about it. I know Kane Brown was here last week, right? I think a lot of people went there.
Hey, Alan, how was that Kane Brown show? I was sick last week and didn't get a chance to get out there, but I'm sure he did a great job. And we're doing a Kane Brown giveaway to see him in Miami on the Weasel. In fact, another shot to text and win if you turn on the Weasel at 7:40 tonight. We'll give you a keyword there, and then every day this week. But there are some great shows coming out to the Windjammer. Lanco is this weekend. Josh Turner is coming out to the Windjammer.
Really? Baby Lock and Noah's and that guy?
That guy, same guy.
Well, and he sings that Chris Christopherson song. Doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. On his new album, he did the Help.
Why, me Lord?
Yeah.
That's me hitting the bass. Why, me Lord?
What have I ever done?
Yeah, I love that song.
Little pitchy dog.
A little for both of us.
Little pitchy dog.
But that's okay. As we talked about yesterday, the Lord inhabits the praises of his people.
That's right. Good, big, happy crowd for Kane. If you get a chance to go watch the country music documentary, there's a great story behind Chris Christopherson writing that song. And I use that country music documentary as me being an aficionado.
Right. Ways to connect when you have to talk to certain people.
So when people think I know what's going on in country, I just reference the...
Just like your political knowledge basically boils down to what you learned from the West Wing.
Pretty much, yeah.
So,
all my secrets are coming out. We hide nothing here on this socially distanced and mentally exhausted with Rick and Jenn. I am wearing pants today, though.
Yeah. And we're pretty much still socially distanced. I mean, we do go to church. I do go and visit schools, but mentally exhausted depends on the day.
I was mentally exhausted last week. I thought I had COVID, but
just retired.
Other great shows. I didn't see Springsteen. I'm not really a classic rock fan, but I've heard great things about all of those concerts, Alan. And also, Kiss always seems to do well at the North Charleston Coliseum. We were in the nosebleed section for Elton John.
Not just nosebleeds, behind.
No. We got moved to behind him, and remember, because we were way up high. And maybe it was a obstructed view or something, and the lady came and moved that whole section over to right behind. So that was a great. It worked out well, and
yes,
and
he's one of those people I'm very thankful I've seen. So
he's a bucket list. He's a bucket list guy.
I have not seen Billy Joel, but I don't know, who would you say is a person you would like to still see?
Billy. Well, I've already seen Billy Joel. Somebody that I would like to see that I haven't seen yet. I'd like to see Keith Urban.
Oh, yeah.
I was outside in the van because the last time Keith Urban came here, I believe he was the opening act for Jason Aldean or Rascal Flatts or something like that. And I didn't get to see his set. And no, maybe you would. I don't remember. It's been years and years and years. It was long enough ago that Keith Urban was the middle act.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see Keith Urban. I'm a fan of Keith Urban. And again, another guy with a big library of music.
Yeah.
I think I've seen now, because Dolly was on my list. Prince was on my list.
Willie Nelson, we've seen him.
Willie Nelson. We got to see Kenny Rogers. Those two were both at the same show with Zach Brown Band. So I think of who we would think are legends. We've seen everybody that's not dead.
I mean, what an amazing blessing we have had from your job.
Really. I mean, I've even seen Britney Spears. Have you ever seen Britney Spears?
No, and I would love to see Britney Spears and the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. Have you seen them?
No.
I haven't seen Backstreet Boys. I think I would. That's not a bucket list for me, but I would enjoy it.
When your song came on,
I would like the one song that they do, but I'm not a whole fan of their library.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Nelly and Jimmy Allen at the Pack.
Too. I cannot wait for that.
Van Morrison is one I'd like to see too. Yeah. Brown Eyed Girl. But he's just,
Isn't he like from Norway or some random European country?
I want to say like Austria.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
I think it's some country in Europe.
He has kind of an accent.
I was like, really?
He has kind of an accent, but not an Arnold Schwarzenegger accent.
Right. Well,
So,
Arnold Schwarzenegger is from
Ireland.
Germany.
Well,
so
it's over in that all that same area.
Yeah, a little different.
Alan Coker is our.
Off to the choppers with you. Mm-hmm.
No woman can do a good Arnold Schwarzenegger
I feel like that was
impersonation.
pretty good. What I just did.
I don't think it was.
Okay, well,
Women can't.
if you're
do that.
wondering if people can have a show about nothing, yes, we just did it.
We just did it. That's right.
I think it's time to sign off.
Yep. Tomorrow night, NFL starts.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That means my Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders making the team is going to come on. Yes.
I guess so. 9 days till the iHeartRadio Music Festival. 14 days till fall. 56 days till Halloween. And there are only 16 Fridays until Christmas. Happy Star Trek Day.
We out.
I got
Do you like what I did there? That's how they like beamed out, or
I don't know that.
Okay.
I've never seen the show.
Yeah.
I only watch Andy Griffin.
Creature.
I only watch
Don't call me a creature.
the Andy Griffin show.